All right, thank you guys. Welcome to the show. And if you really end up enjoying this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. And if you haven't already joined the Brock Page delegation, please feel free to do that right now by tapping that subscribe button below. And don't forget, guys, if you tell just one person about this YouTube channel at some point this week, I'd greatly appreciate that as well. All your likes, comments, and subscribes, I'm gratefully thankful for. So thank you very much, guys. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some NFL divisional round playoffs. And it's all queued up, ready to go on the big screen behind me. We're going to start off with some Saturday action, Rams versus the Packers. And once again, that's going to be a 4:35 p.m. Eastern kickoff this Saturday. That's January 16th, 2021. The Packers are the 7-point favorite at home. Total's 46 juice to the under. And if you like the Rams winning this one outright on the road here, they're plus 280 for some money line cash. Now, we've been victorious in 2 out of our last 3 board member tier package picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also hitting at 63% our last 17 board member tier package picks in that same category as well. We currently have over 850 folks just like you who are signed up and active on that page. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And despite their wild card win over the Seattle Seahawks, the Rams have still failed to cover the number in 2 out of their last 4. And they could potentially have some real concerns at quarterback this Saturday. They got the backup. He's injured. Jared Goff, he's got like a new thumb or something. He had like surgery on his hand or something recently. So they got some real problems potentially at quarterback. LA's in the bottom 10 in the league in fourth quarter scoring offensively. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of the ball, as good as they've been, the Rams are dead last in the NFL in second quarter points given up on the road. I know that's kind of a quirky stat, but keep that in mind if you're a prop bettor. Now, Wolford, Edwards, they are questionable for the Rams. LA's also failed to cover the number in 7 out of their last 10 meetings with Green Bay. And speaking of the Pack, they're on a 6-game winning streak themselves, 7-1 straight up at Lambeau Field this season. The Pack's in the top 3 in yards per play, and they find themselves scoring 32 points a game at Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers was just 1 yard shy of 4,300 in the regular season, 48 touchdown passes, and just 5 interceptions. His favorite target was Davante Adams, who had nearly 1,400 yards receiving, and that was in 14 games, along with 18 touchdown receptions. The Pack has also run the ball effectively as well, top 3 in the NFL in home rushing. Aaron Jones had over 1,100 rushing yards on the season and 9 touchdowns on the ground. Meanwhile, defensively, the Packers gave up just 19 points per contest on their home field, and they held their opponents to less than 190 yards passing in that same category. Zadarius Smith had 12.5 sacks on the season, 4 forced fumbles, and 2 fumble recoveries. Meanwhile, safety Adrian Amos led the defense with 83 total tackles, along with a pair of picks and a fumble recovery. Now, the Packers covered 63% of their ball games overall for the season. And when it comes to the total in this one, they're actually looking for snow Thursday and Friday, but I think we should be okay for Saturday. They're looking at mostly clear skies and a very chilly, very brisk 27 degrees by kickoff. But I think we're going to avoid the snow here. The Packers did see their last 2 straight get over the number, 60% to the over in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Rams are 5-4 to the over away from home themselves, and that includes the last week's wild card game. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Green Bay Packers -7 and the over 46. Before we go ahead and move on, guys, just want to take another quick timeout and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for NFL. I want to say, I'm so used to saying NFL week blank, NFL week 1, week 4, but got some lines and personal leans out for our NFL divisional playoff round here. But before we go ahead and dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, just got to quickly remind you once again that we've been victorious in 2 out of our last 3 board member tier package picks on patreon.com/BrockPage. We're also hitting at 63% our last 17 board member tier package picks in that same category as well. And just remember, guys, when you sign up for a membership on Patreon, you're going to get access to all the lesser expensive memberships absolutely free. So once again, when you sign up for one of my memberships on Patreon, you're going to instantly get access to all the lesser expensive tiers and their picks absolutely free. So the cheaper memberships are included with your purchase. You know, any membership that's cheaper than the one you buy, you're going to get access to those picks as well. So a lot of great value there. And for those who are wondering what the difference is between my free picks here on YouTube and what I do on my Patreon site, well, one, Patreon is active every single day. We don't take any days off on Patreon. And basically what I do on Patreon is I make a life a lot easier for you as I break down the daily card and focus in on just 3 to 4 premium selections per day. They're my personal plays, games that I personally have action on. And I'll tell you this much, I'm having a lot more success betting on games that way versus wagering on every single game on the slate, side and total, like I do here on YouTube with my free leans. And we do currently have over 850 people who are signed up and active on that site. And if you want to join those folks and get in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/BrockPage. And moving on, guys, we're going to take a look at some more Saturday action. It's the night game. I'm talking about the Ravens versus the Bills, 8:15 p.m. Eastern kickoff Saturday night. Now, the Bills are the 3-point favorite at home. Total is 50 points. And if you like the Ravens to win it outright, they're plus $1.15 on the money line. Now, the Ravens are dead last in the NFL in passing, and they throw for just 164 yards a game on the road. Their leading receiver, Marquise Brown, averages just 48 receiving yards a game during the regular season. The Ravens are in the bottom 10 in the NFL in fourth quarter scoring as well. They do have some significant concerns offensively. I know that they're flashy. I know that when they're cooking, they're unstoppable. But there are legit concerns offensively for the Ravens. So don't get me wrong there. Now, Baltimore's taking on a Buffalo team who won their last 7 straight, and they successfully covered the number in 8 out of their last 9. Now, Buffalo's 8-1 this season at home, very good at home, and they find themselves in the top 3 in offensive yards per play. Josh Allen threw for 324 yards in the wild card game this past week and over 4,500 yards passing during the regular season as well. Allen's favorite target was Stephon Diggs, who had 127 grabs for 1,535 yards in the regular season. Diggs also had 128 receiving yards last week and a score. The Bills are scoring over 31 points a game at Bills Stadium. And when it comes to the total in this one, Buffalo's last 4 straight all got over the number. 13-4 to the over for the entire season. Meanwhile, Baltimore saw 3 out of their last 5 contests get over the line themselves, throwing out the wild card game against Tennessee. I'm going to lean toward the Buffalo Bills -3 and the over 51. All right, next contest I have for you, it is going to be Sunday action. I'm talking about the Browns versus the Chiefs, 3:05 p.m. Eastern start time in Kansas City. The Chiefs are the 10-point favorite at Arrowhead. Total's 56 flat. Now, the Chiefs led the league in passing, top 3 in offensive yards per play. Patty Mahomes threw for over 4,700 yards and 38 touchdowns. Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill each had well over 1,200 yards receiving, respectively, and 26 combined TD receptions. Meanwhile, defensively, Kansas City was in the top 10 in points allowed and gave up just 22 points per contest at Arrowhead. Tyrann Mathieu had 6 total interceptions from the secondary, 62 total tackles and a pick 6. Meanwhile, safety Daniel Sorensen had 91 total tackles himself, 2 forced fumbles and a pick 6 for Sorensen as well. Now they're taking on a Cleveland squad who's just 4-5 against the spread when traveling this year. And they actually finished up the regular season just 6-10 against the number before covering against Pittsburgh in the wildcard game this past week. Now Cleveland's in the bottom 10 in passing, and they give up over 30 points a game on the road. Even worse, this Browns defense is allowing 312 yards passing per game away from home as well. Now, total-wise, Cleveland's last 2 straight both got over the number, 5-2 to the over in their last 7. Meanwhile, Kansas City saw 3 out of their last 4 get over the line themselves, 5-3 to the over in their last 8. I'm going to lean toward the Kansas City Chiefs -10 and the over 56. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our next and final matchup for the show. It is going to be Buccaneers versus the Saints, 6:40 p.m. Eastern start time in New Orleans. The Saints are the 3-point favorite at home. Total's 52 flat. And if you like Tampa Bay to win this one outright, they're plus $1.45 on the money line. Now, Tampa Bay is just 4-5 against the number away from home this season. They're also rushing for just 97 yards a game as well. Meanwhile, defensively, the Bucs are in the bottom 10 in first quarter points allowed, and they give up nearly 250 yards a game passing. Now, they're taking on a Saints team who's got a top 10 pass defense, and they give up just 20 points a game on average as well. So you think Saints, a lot of folks think offense, but this defense has been pretty solid this year. Demario Davis had 119 total tackles in the regular season, 4 sacks and 11 TFLs for the linebacker. Meanwhile, Trey Hendricks had led the defense in sacks with 13.5. And of course, offensively, the Saints are in the top 5 in scoring, first in offensive time of possession. New Orleans is scoring over 30 points a game on their home turf, and they won 7 out of their last 9 in the Superdome. Alvin Kamara has over 11,000 yards rushing this season. That includes the wild card game. Kamara also had 756 yards receiving in the regular season, along with 21 total touchdowns combined. New Orleans also went 6-3 against the number in their 9 games at home this season as well. And when it comes to the scoring in this one, the Saints saw 3 out of their last 4 ball games get over the number, throwing out the Bears contest this past week. The Saints have gone 6-3 to the over at the Superdome this season. Meanwhile, the Bucs on the other side, they are 6-3 to the over when they travel this year. So I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the New Orleans Saints -3 and the over 52 in that game. And with that, guys, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap, once again brought to you by patreon.com/BrockPage, where we are hitting at 63% our last 17 board member tier package picks. I like the Packers -7 over 46, Bills -3 over 51. I'm leaning toward the Chiefs -10 over 56. And last but certainly not least, please give this video a thumbs up right now if you enjoyed it. Please feel free to subscribe right now as well. And please don't forget to tell at least one friend about my channel this week. I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the New Orleans Saints -3 and the over 52 in that contest. Now, guys, we're about to dive into some shout-outs. And I'll tell you this much. If you want to get a shout-out right here on Brock Page Productions, all you have to do is drop me a line in the comment section below. Of course, as always, all of today's shout-outs are derived from my YouTube comment section over the course of the past couple of days or so. So with that said, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into some shout-outs. And from our YouTube platform, shout-out to Philip Serrallo, Max Musterman from Germany. Shout-out to Luis Perez, Vernon Williard, Randy Peralta, Kevin Taylor, Pittsburgh Gentleman, PA. Also want to give a shout out to Crack Boston, Nadir Elias, and last but certainly not least, got to give a shout out to my good friend, Arquitecto Castillo. And if you were one of the lucky folks I gave a shout out here to today, don't forget to show your friends and family that you are now YouTube famous. And if you didn't hear your name called in the shout out portion of our show here today, just keep commenting and giving me your kind words in the comment section right here on YouTube. Eventually, I'll do my best to get to each and every one of you. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you end up getting a package here today, just keep in mind we'll bill you the day you sign up, and then the first of every month following that. And once again, guys, just got to remind you, once again, if you end up getting a package here today, all the lesser expensive memberships on Patreon are included with your purchase. So, for example, if you get the $4.99 package, all the cheaper memberships under $4.99, they're going to be included with your purchase. So, anyway, guys, most importantly, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Monday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.